Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I want to talk about the hardships of running multiple different businesses or maybe even one single business. I want to treat this video like a podcast, but not make it nearly as long as a podcast. And I want to do videos like this maybe once a month where I pick a topic and I just give you guys a raw conversation. Ideally, I don't plan on doing it in a room like this. I plan on walking around somewhere or sitting outside somewhere and talking to you guys. But granted, being that I have an FX6, it's kind of big. I don't really feel like doing all that. Ideally, the goal for this video is for you to listen to it while you're doing something. Maybe you're taking that long drive to that production job. Maybe you're eating some cereal. Maybe you're working out. The point is, there's not going to be any fancy B-roll. It's just going to be a raw, authentic conversation with you guys. So let's get right into the video. As all of you may or may not know, I run multiple different businesses. I have a freelance career. I run this YouTube channel now, and I also run a e-commerce business. I haven't really been too consistent with the freelancing or even the YouTube aspect of it because I'm in a season right now in my e-commerce business. Again, I don't really talk about this a whole lot because it has nothing to do with filmmaking, and I know my audience specifically is a filmmaking audience, so you guys wouldn't really care. And the reason why I haven't been accepting a whole lot of freelance jobs or even posting a whole lot of YouTube videos is because I'm in a season right now in my e-commerce business that is known as Q4. Essentially what Q4 is, it's the last 4 months of the year. The last 4 months of the year is pretty much holiday season. A lot of grandmas, a lot of mamas are out there spending a lot of money for the holidays. You have Christmas, you have Thanksgiving, you have Halloween, all these different holidays, and all these parents, loved ones, friends, families are buying gifts for the holidays. And essentially, long story short, if you don't know what e-commerce is, I find a product, I turn it to a brand, I sell it online for more money than what I purchased it for. So in doing all that, I've been focusing a lot of my time and attention on building my branded stores because this is the time of the year where I can make the most money making it from my kitchen, making it from my living room, making it from anywhere in the world that I want to be. So honestly, I just really been focusing a lot of my time and attention on building my store and trying to scale to 6 figures by the end of this year. Now, the freelance jobs that I have been accepting, I haven't really been feeling like recording them. I haven't really been feeling like even making a YouTube video because I just been so locked in. And that's what I want to talk about. When you're an entrepreneur and you run multiple different businesses, and keep in mind, when you run them by yourself, it can be quite challenging. A lot of people don't know where to begin. A lot of people don't know where to start. And a lot of people cannot keep with that consistent path. A lot of people give up early on. And it's interesting because I was watching a YouTube video where a guy in the comment section said that he's been freelancing for 12 years. And essentially, he just gave up and went and got a full-time job because he just couldn't find those high ticket clients. And that led me to ask myself, what were you doing with those 12 years that caused you to not be able to land consistent high paying jobs? I feel like with freelancers, a lot of people think early on that if I just get a bunch of work, whether it's low paying or whether it's paying nothing, if I can just get a whole bunch of low ticket jobs, I'm going to eventually use all of that for my portfolio to attract those high paying clients. That's not the case. The more low paying jobs you get, the more low paying clients you're going to attract. Let's just be honest here. I can have 100 interviews on my portfolio. I can have 100 events on my portfolio. That doesn't necessarily mean because I have all these events, because I have all these interviews, that now I'm going to get this high commercial job or now I'm going to get this National Geographic job. That's not the case. And sadly, a lot of people think that way. Even though I run two different businesses that are completely different, both freelancing and e-commerce still both have the same one structure that needs to be applied, and that is work ethic. You have to know how to scale a business. Now with freelancing, it is more a physical demanding job than e-commerce. Essentially with my e-commerce business, I don't even have to leave my house to make $1,000 in a day. But with freelancing, I have to physically be present to fulfill a client's needs. So because of that, you have to put in a little bit more physical work. So it's like there's different approaches that you need to take in the filmmaking niche. Now, obviously the filmmaking niche can be really, really hard, especially where you live. If you're someone who lives in like Wyoming, maybe the film industry out there isn't as big as someone who lives in New York or Los Angeles, where the filmmaking niche and even the pay for filmmakers out there is much higher. So you maybe have to reconsider on relocating your business. I know some filmmakers who did that, who relocated to a state where the filmmaking is a lot more greater out there. Or maybe you're someone who labels your business or brand as a one-man band. Maybe in order to attract those higher ticketed clients, maybe instead you have to go out there and purchase a domain, learn how to purchase a domain, learn how to run a legitimate business, learn how to hire employees, learn how to hire other contractors, and go out there and label yourself as a production company. Maybe that's what it's going to take for you to go out there and be able to get those high ticketed clients. Those higher budget clients usually tend to work with production companies. And in this vlog right here that I posted, I was actually talking to the production company that contracted me. And they're a production company of two, just a two-man production company. And what they do is whenever they have their higher budget clients, they go out there and hire contractors like me and you. So maybe if you want to get to that level of your career, maybe you should stop being that one-man band who just prays and hopes that someone's going to go out there and contract you. Maybe you should take that step to be that production company. I worked for countless production companies that are literally just operated by a one man. And essentially, that man doesn't even do anything. I can't tell you how many jobs where I got hired by a production company, and pretty much the guy just hired out a bunch of freelancers, and he sat back and just collected the pay and then just paid us when it was time to be paid. Hello, you can do that if you want to do that. I'm telling you, there is so many different tactics that you have to try to implement in order to grow and sustain a business. If you're just doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, it's just insanity. If I was doing the same thing over and over and over again with my e-commerce business, running the same creatives, giving the same offers, doing the same buy one get one free deal over and over and over again, and I wasn't generating any results, I was getting the same add to cart numbers over and over again, but no conversions, no purchases, it would be insane for me to think that I can make $50,000 in a month by doing the same tactic that I've been doing for the last 6, 8 products that I tested over and over again. And that's what a lot of people do when it comes to running a business, but they're not consciously aware of that. They're just so focused and worried on the wrong thing, and they focus on the same cliche thing that they've been told their entire life. Maybe what you did 6 months ago isn't going to work 6 months later, or maybe what you did 6 months ago will work 6 months later. People are afraid to go out there and test. You have to test. When it comes to running any business, you need to test new strategies, a new way of thinking, a new approach. You have to go out there and test. A lot of people message me and ask me over and over again, how should I price myself? I tell my clients that, hey, it will be $1,000 for a 10-hour shoot, and I'm just filming an interview with B-roll. I tell them my price, and then they ghost me. Listen, that's gonna happen. If they ghost you, that's not the client for you. That's a low ticket client. I guarantee you, if you reach back out to them and tell them, hey, I'll do this 10-hour shoot for $300, they're going to respond to you and they're going to accept it. There is clients out there who will pay more. But again, you might have to take a different approach to that. It's not hard. People just overcomplicate things. They really do. Bottom line is people are lazy. People don't want to use their brain, and people don't want to put the reps in. You have to put the reps in. I feel like everyone just wants to meet somebody and pray that that person can get them a job. It doesn't work like that. And that's what a lot of filmmakers want. They want to meet somebody in hopes that they can get a job. So another thing for me that's been kind of difficult these past couple of weeks, for me running multiple different businesses, is trying to leverage my time for each business. Now, before I hit Q4, like I mentioned earlier, I was exalting a lot of my energy into YouTube, a lot of my energy into freelancing, and my business was going good. I didn't really have to manage it too much. But now that I'm in a different season, finding that balance of working on e-commerce, working on freelancing, and working on YouTube has honestly been the greatest struggle that I've been dealing with right now. I did a couple jobs recently that were just interviews, and I just haven't been motivated to go out there and film a behind the scenes because as soon as I'm done with that job, I hand off the footage. I don't want to do anything with YouTube. I don't want to edit nothing. I just want to dive right back into the e-commerce business and just scale it to the moon. And one of the biggest things that I find that really helps me with achieving my goals is having a vision board. If you can write down what it is that you want to achieve, 9 times out of 10, you're going to achieve it when you write it down. When you just say something out loud, like, hey, by end of this year, I want to be able to get a new house. If you just say that, usually you're not going to get it. But if you write it down and it's physically written down and you can see it every single day, That honestly, I achieved a lot of stuff that I achieved in life because I writ things down. I written it down, I held it above my computer, and I look at it every single day. And eventually, over time, I achieved those goals. So, just a tip, maybe you want to do something like that. Go to Walmart, get like a cheap whiteboard or something, and just write down the visions that you have, the plans that you have, the goals that you have. And I'm telling you, it will manifest itself if you write it down. For me, I'm glad that I put the work in and I put the reps in, because now when it comes to freelancing, I no longer have to accept those nonsense jobs. Now I'm choosing to literally accept jobs that either pay what I want to be paid, jobs that I want to do, or even jobs that are in my local area. Before, I would drive to like Melbourne 2.5 hours just for a $300 check, or I would drive to Tampa 2 hours just for a $400 check, or even Jacksonville 2.5 hours for a $500 check. And it's like now, because I put the reps in, because I put the work in my businesses, I now don't have to accept those jobs. And I don't. Occasionally, if it's a low paying job and I want to do it, I'll go out there and do it. But now I don't have to put the wear and tear on my vehicle driving these far locations when some of these clients don't even want to pay for my accommodations. Now I can truly choose what it is that I want to do. And I know some people are going to go in the comment section and be like, oh, well, be grateful that you're able to even get a $300 job, because there's people out there who can't even get that, who are struggling to get that. If you're struggling to get that, it's because, brother, you're not putting in the reps. You cannot downplay someone who's actually putting in the time, the effort, and the reps just because they don't want to accept a $200 to $300 job. And a lot of people come to me and say, okay, well, what if I put in all this work? What if I buy all this gear? What if I soak in all of this knowledge and none of it works out? I don't get the clients. I don't get the jobs. I don't get paid what I want to be compensated. Brother, but what if you win? What if you do all that and you win? What if it doesn't happen the way that you want it to happen in the first 6 months, in the first year, in the first 2 years? But ask yourself, brother, what if you win? That's a question that you should be asking yourself. And a lot of people don't ask themselves that. What if I win? That's a question that I ask myself. And that's exactly why I'm in the position that I am now, is because I always had that mindset. What if I win? In the beginning, it was shaky. My foundation wasn't built on a firm, solid soil. It was shaky. Things didn't make sense. Nothing was clear. The vision wasn't clear. I had no understanding. I had no blueprint. But in the end, I shifted my mindset. I did something different. Whatever these typical people would tell me to do, I applied that, but I also shifted my route. And because of that, it led me to be successful. Am I exactly where I want to be at in life yet? Absolutely not. I still have a long way to go. But am I far better than I was 3, 4, 5 years ago? Absolutely. It would be insanity for me to keep doing filmmaking jobs for $150 5 years later. That is just ridiculous, and be in the same position. And there's filmmakers out there who are going to be in that everlasting cycle of constant rinse and repeat over their career, because they don't have the guidance, they don't have the help, they don't have someone like me to just be honest with you guys and tell you guys the truth. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what a YouTube guru is going to tell you. I'm going to tell you the hardcore truth. You don't know what you're doing, you don't know how to do it, and you need someone to give you that help. Brother, it's all dependent on you. Now, when it comes to filmmaking, if you've been doing this for 6 years and you haven't seen the income that you wanted, or the growth that you wanted, or the client base that you wanted, it doesn't necessarily mean it's always you that is doing something wrong. The filmmaking business is a lot more physically demanding than like my e-commerce business. I've been doing my e-commerce business for 6 years and I haven't generated 6 figures, which honestly in six years with e-commerce, you should have generated 8 figures. No doubt. It's not like filmmaking where it probably isn't necessarily your fault, but with e-commerce, it is your fault. In 6 years, if you have not made 6 figures, 50K, 8 figures in 6 years, it is 100% your fault. It is something that you are doing that is wrong. It's nothing else, because e-commerce is a logistics module. All you are is just a middleman who goes out, finds a product, turns it into a brand. You pay a supplier to ship it out for you, and that is it. You run ads, you run creatives, you draw in sales, you buy your dream Lamborghini, and that is it. So in 6 years, if I have not achieved and accumulated the amount of wealth that I wanted in 6 years, it's because of something that I'm doing. With freelancing, more physically demanding, like I mentioned, is probably based on your location, is based on your title. Maybe you have to take that step to become a production company. A lot of people do it and then they end up just giving up and just getting part-time jobs as a videographer for like a local church, or a videographer for a marketing agency, or whatever. And if that's the route that you want to take, brother, That's your choice. That's what you want to do. I'm not going to knock you for it. But don't sit here and cry and complain that you couldn't do it because you gave up way too early. If you give up too early, again, in my opinion, you don't deserve the success. But if you stay consistent, stay persistent, stay active, stay open minded, and stay willing to learn, you deserve all the success in the world. Once you make it happen, you deserve that success. I don't know how long I've been talking for. I feel like it's been a minute. Hopefully, the next time I do something like this, I have a second camera. I'm thinking about picking up the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I seen that camera for a while when it came out. Didn't care about it. Had no interest in buying it. But once I thought about this idea of filming these type of videos, I want to be like more active doing this. I don't really want to film it on my phone. I don't want to run out of storage or have my phone overheat. I'd rather just buy a dedicated camera for that. And the Osmo Pocket 3 is pretty small. It fits in your pocket, obviously. It comes with a DJI mic. And I feel like it's perfect for a video like this. So let me know in the comment section below if anybody owns it, how they like it, if they use it. Maybe if you're selling one, hit me up. I'll buy it from you. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys now achieve a better understanding of what it is and the reality of running multiple different businesses. Just an open conversation with you guys. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. The next video is going to be probably a vlog. I'm gonna try to do a vlog this time. I'll mark my words. I'll catch you next video. Nos vemos pronto.